In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can actually gain muscle and become stronger while training martial arts at the same time. In my case, I actually practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I actually train almost every day, while I also do resistance training. So, let me start by saying that you can actually grow bigger muscle and you can actually get stronger even though you train martial arts, which is very anaerobic. So let's talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I actually train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the moment once a day, and I also go to the gym at the same time. So some people will tell you that you actually need to split your training, so that you should do, for example, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on one day and weights on the other day. I don't think that this is actually the best option if you want to maximize hypertrophy and also get as strong as possible. In fact, in my opinion, I actually do this program. I particularly follow a 45 minutes to 1 hour workout of weights, and then I do jiu-jitsu. So what happens is, on some days I actually train Brazilian jiu-jitsu earlier in the day, let's say in the afternoon, and then I do weights. On other days I actually train weights earlier and then I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, in my opinion, the best way is actually to do first weights and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is actually a very anaerobic sport. So, how you should structure your program? What I would do is to perform at least 10 sets of each muscle every week. So, let's say today is Monday and you have your martial art training, your box training, your kickboxing training, or your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, and you also want to do weights. What you do is actually you choose some muscles and you do 5 sets this time. So for each muscle, 5 sets. Then during the week, you make sure that you do another workout in which you actually hit the same muscle and you do another 5 sets for a total of 10 sets. This is the key, guys, in order to maximize hypertrophy. Of course, if you only train in the gym and your focus is hypertrophy, then doing more than 10 sets, so between 10 and 20, would be much better. But since you train also martial arts, which is very hard on the body as well, especially if you spar a lot, as a consequence, the best way is to do at least 10 sets so that you almost maximize hypertrophy. At the same time, talking about cardio, in order to also improve your performance in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in this case, what I actually like to do is to do an assault bike. So to do some rounds, maybe 3 times a week of assault bike, or you can also do some sprints. You decide the intensity, but make sure that you keep a constant effort to doing this exercise in order to maximize also your anaerobic capacity. So, another thing that I also want to talk about is actually recovery. Of course, if you train every day jiu-jitsu or other martial arts and also do weights, it's gonna be very difficult and hard on the body. So you also have to make sure that your sleep is adequate. I don't know how many hours you need to sleep, but for example, for me personally, I need at least 8 hours, at least. Maybe even more, maybe even 9 hours in order to feel good and actually recover. What happened, for example, last week, is that, for example, I was training a lot jiu-jitsu. I was training, for example, around 3 hours every day. And by the end of the week, I was extremely sore. I was overtraining. My body didn't feel well. I didn't have the energy to train jiu-jitsu again. So I was extremely tired, extremely fatigued. What I did, I took some days off, and then as a consequence, I felt better. And now I'm back in the gym. So in order to prevent this, you want to make sure that you program your schedule in order to maximize your gains and also to maximize your recovery. Finally, guys, I also want to talk about nutrition. Nutrition is especially important in this case because if you train, as I said, twice a day, and plus, for example, you work or you are active during the day, and for example, you walk a lot, as a consequence, you need to eat even more. So, I don't know how many calories you need, but be sure not to undereat. And be sure to keep your protein high, because when you do lots of cardio, there is actually the risk of breaking down muscle. But if you train weights, you will probably gain muscle and should not be worried about this. But the important thing is protein. Okay, so keep your protein high, keep also your carbs high in order to maximize your performance. So for today, that's all. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.